Probably the biggest question in the world of dirt bikes. Two-stroke versus four-stroke. Which one is better? Well, by the end of this video, you'll have the answer. Welcome to the first ride. Of course, it will take you from never having touched a dirt bike to your very first ride, and 100% free. So, what makes a two-stroke a two-stroke, and what makes a four-stroke a four-stroke? Put simply, a four-stroke goes through 4 stages to complete a power stroke, while a two-stroke only goes through 2 stages to complete a power stroke. If you want to nerd out more on the actual science between the two, feel free to do your research because there's a lot of great information out there that helps explain it. But today, we are just going to keep it towards how it affects you, the rider. We'll break it down into the pros and cons of a two-stroke and the pros and cons of a four-stroke. A two-stroke will require slightly more attention and maintenance. On a two-stroke, you have to mix oil into the gas. Two-strokes can be messy as they have more oil leaks. A two-stroke has a large pipe that's more exposed and likely to get damaged. Two-strokes have less bottom end, meaning less torque. A two-stroke will cost less to buy. Two-strokes are much more simple and easy to work on. A two-stroke weighs less and has less moving parts in the engine, making the bike feel much more light and easy to throw around. Two-strokes do not have engine braking, meaning that when you let off the throttle, it is not going to slow the bike down, allowing you to coast. And this one is a little bit more strange, but the sound on a two-stroke does not travel as far. So, for example, if you ride near a neighborhood, you have less chance of getting in trouble. Two-strokes have a power band, and I'll quickly explain what a power band is. So, on a regular engine without a power band, such as the car for example, the power will be very smooth and predictable all the way through the RPMs. Whereas on a two-stroke with the power band, it will have little power, and then boom, all the power will hit at once. And that is the power band, which tends to make it more fun and exciting for people to ride. And don't worry, you can predict when the power band is going to hit, so you can still ride smooth and calculated. And then finally, riding a two-stroke can also make you a better rider because you're handling the power band and the light weight, and it just makes it harder for you to become lazy. It will cost more money to buy a four-stroke. Replacing parts on a four-stroke will be more expensive. Repairing a four-stroke will require more skill as there's much more complexity to the engine. A four-stroke will feel heavier to ride. Four-strokes have engine braking, meaning when you let off the throttle, the engine will slow the bike down. Although this is kind of a neutral between a pro and a con, because coming into corners that can be nice, and other times it can be a bit of a nuisance. A four-stroke will require slightly less attention and maintenance. You do not have to mix oil in the gas on a four-stroke. The power on a four-stroke is very smooth and predictable. And sometimes the extra weight and more moving parts in the engine, creating more of a gyro effect, can actually make the bike handle better. When you're going around the track on a two-stroke, it can feel like the track is throwing you everywhere, while on a four-stroke, it's much easier to just hold a straight line. Now let's go over some of the more strange but real reasons that might drive you to buy a two-stroke or a four-stroke. The sound difference between a two-stroke and a four-stroke is one of the main preferences that drive people to either want a two-stroke or want a four-stroke. Two-strokes have a really sweet smell to them. Although, if you mix race gas into a four-stroke, that can also smell really good. I know saying that smell is one of the reasons for people to choose a four-stroke or a two-stroke is strange, but it really does make the experience more enjoyable. I remember one of the most confusing elements when I was first getting into dirt biking was wondering how the different engine sizes compared. Because on a two-stroke, the two main sizes are a 125 and a 250, whereas on a 4-stroke the two main sizes are a 250 and a 450. So, because a 2-stroke can complete a full power stroke in only 2 stages, it can put out more power in a smaller engine. So, a 125 2-stroke can compete with a 250 4-stroke, and a 250 2-stroke can compete with a 450 4-stroke. The 4-strokes will still have slightly bit more power in those classes, but that is usually how they are paired up in races. So, now getting back to the main question, which one is better? Well, that's actually a trick question because they are both balanced out pretty equal in their pros and cons, so it really just comes down to personal preference, and hopefully the information that was shared in this video will help you to make the decision on whether you want a 2-stroke or a 4-stroke for your first bike.